This is the award-winning Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state that we live in. You can find us on Facebook.com/The Go Show with Mike Russell and on Instagram at The Go Show with Mike Russell. Go Outdoors with Mike Russell on YouTube is where you can see this video. We got Rebecca Michael from Amped Up Ear Pro with us. You might have seen them. It's the super cool kids ear protection that I've seen at the range. And I got to tell you, Rebecca, I was so excited to find you when you were over at Scottsdale Gun Club because I saw all these cool kids rolling around the range and out at the hunts, and they're doing this cool little twisty thing, and their ear protection pops out, and they're right back in, and they're colorful. Man, that's just cool stuff. I want that stuff. Why? How? Why'd you get into this? What is this stuff all about? Tell us.
All right, so all the cool kids have Amped Up custom hearing protection because it looks good, it feels good, very durable, and it actually provides the best protection for shooting sports, motor sports, anything you like to do that's noisy.
Okay, so even if we go out to like monster trucks or something like that, you got. Oh yeah, okay. This is all about that. Now, did you come up studying this? Did you say one day, maybe in high school, okay, a lot of people are going to go be nurses and doctors and attorneys. I think I want to inject things into people's ears and help them have ear protection. Is that where we started?
Well, so I have over 25 years of back office medical assisting experience. So I have injected and messed with all kinds of body parts.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked in all different kinds of specialties. And what was very interesting was when I started my company, ears were the only body part that I really hadn't done anything with. Did a few ear lavages, which I have to tell you is very disgusting. So,
what is that?
Oh, it's gross. And I'm a short person, so you're at a very bad angle when you're short doing an ear
okay.
lavage. Yeah. So basically an ear lavage is when you don't keep your ears clean.
Okay.
And all that wax gets impacted.
Yeah.
And then you have to go to the doctor's office and we basically scoop it out, or we shoot like a water pick to clean your teeth, only it's for your ears.
Okay.
And so I'll never forget the first ear lavage that I had to do at work. I'm working on this really tall person sitting on the exam table. So I'm like this, trying to get the stuff into the person's ear, and it comes splashing back on me. It was so disgusting.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Gross. Okay.
I was not doing that anymore.
So wouldn't that have, I thought that would have scared you away from working with people's ears at that point. Like, I am never doing this again. I don't even want to see an ear. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for people to hang out with that have had their ears cauterized and cut off. Like, seriously, that is so gross. Why did you then go, I want to go into ears?
Demand a waiver saying that they've been to the doctor today and got things cleaned today. No, I'm just kidding. Most people have really clean ears. I've only seen a few scary things, but
okay.
Yeah, no critters. That's a good thing.
That's okay. Then you
have you seen the video?
Okay. I had this Wrath of Khan image from Star Trek about like things going. Yeah, no. Okay, so for those that don't know, I am completely panicked about anyone touching my ears. As a matter of fact, I had my wife's aunt wake me up one time out of a dead sleep by touching my earlobe, and I came out of a dead sleep and took a swing at her. That's how much it just instinctually, I don't like people touching my ears. So hearing about Ear Pro, I'm excited, but I'm also really nervous about this. So let's get into the process of Ear Pro and why it's so good.
It's actually very simple. It's painless as long as you go to somebody who knows what they're doing. So it's a very easy process. So inside your ear, you have an eardrum. And most people find that out when they get an ear infection or a punctured eardrum or, sinus pain and pressure, that kind of thing. They're like, oh, there's something in there. It's not great. Otherwise, you don't notice you have an eardrum. But so anyways, what we want to do is protect that eardrum. And that's the strangest part of the process is we actually have a little piece of foam on a string and gently guide that into the ear canal. And we want to get that in there as far as possible, but not to a point where it's uncomfortable. So you're scared already.
It's making me, I want to curl into a ball right now. I can't, this is making me the chills.
Come back, it's okay. So yeah, that part is kind of strange. It's like someone else, putting a Q-tip in your ear, that kind of a sensation. So, it doesn't hurt at all, I promise.
Okay.
that's the most important part, is getting that foam block into the correct place so that you don't get any kind of an injury during the impression. And also it's essential to getting a good ear mold, because when I gently inject the material into the ear, I don't want it to have nothing to push against, because then you don't get a solid ear canal. If it just kind of goes in, like if you picture a garden hose and the pressure is just not enough, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It doesn't fill the hose if there's no pressure. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyways, that's basically the procedure, is just making sure that there's a good foam block in the right place. And that takes years and years of practice. So I always tell people, don't go and get these at a gun show with mom and pop that roll up in a trailer from New Mexico and they just do earplugs for the weekend and then they go home. You'd be surprised how much of that there is in this industry.
Well,
So,
this is another reason why I'm glad to have you on, because, okay, are you the only one that does this here in the Valley, or are there the mom and pops that roll in and just, bust out power tools and ram them in your ear?
so when I started my company just over 4 years ago, I did a lot of market research as to what's going on in this area. And, of course, to find out if this was going to be a viable career for me. And what I found was there was nobody like me. There was no one doing what my plan was, to solely customize hearing protection. So there are audiologists that you can go to, and hearing protection is a very small part of their practice.
Okay.
Mostly they're involved with infections, hearing aids, things like that. But what I want to do is I want to prevent hearing loss. That's my whole focus. So what I found was there really wasn't any company that was mobile that was focusing just on hearing loss and making really cool, fun earplugs that people want to wear. And educating is a big part of what I do as well. Just talking to people and say, hey, if you work as a dental assistant and you've got this really loud equipment that you're working around 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, it's going to cause hearing loss. And a lot of people just don't think about it. They just think, oh, this is my job. My boss is in charge, and so I'm safe. And that's not the case. There are a lot of occupations where people should be using hearing protection. And just because, that employer isn't particularly required to provide it, that doesn't mean you don't need it. So people need to be proactive and look around their environment and determine, hey, is this above 85 dB for multiple hours, several days a week? And,
what's that? What's 85 dB?
That would be like the equivalent of a hairdryer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that dB is the volume. Okay. All right. Got it. Okay.
So anything over 85 is considered to be in the danger zone. And something like a hairdryer, a lawnmower, a leaf blower, all of those things are way above 85 dB. So if it's just for a few minutes, you don't really need to worry so much. If you're just turning the blender on. But if you work at a place where you make smoothies all day long,
okay,
you're listening to a blender all day long, that's a problem, because hearing loss is cumulative. So it means it happens over time.
Now, so does it just make you curl into a ball when you see guys out there? Because I hunt with them. I'm talking about shotgunning with them. No hearing protection. No earring protection. Here, let me try it again. Hearing protection. There we go. Okay. Nothing. None of that. That has to drive you batty. I look at them. I don't know how they pull that off.
Well, so in today's world, there is just no excuse for that. There just there is no excuse. Hearing protection is readily available, and it's even required at the shooting ranges now. But, in the past, it was, I get to meet so many cool people of all different ages. And a lot of the trap and skeet and shotgun sports, a lot of those people who do that are retired. And so I'm making their custom earplugs, and we have lots of neat conversations. And I've had multiple guys tell me that they were in the military when they were younger, and they used to stick cigarette butts in their ear. That was the only hearing protection they had available 50 years ago. I
wanted to go back to something I said a little bit earlier, okay, about the freak out with the ears. Just the thought of putting a cigarette butt in my ear makes me want to go. I'm heading for the hills at this point. But real quick, we're with Rebecca Michael. She's an amped up ear pro, and I want to keep you over the break. And I want you for another second because I want to actually get into the process of what it's like, because we got to the phone block, but that's about all we got. And then tell them real quick before we wrap up here, where can they get information?
So the best place to find information about our products as well as our schedule is online. You can either Google us at Amped Up Custom Hearing Protection. You can also find, we have social media. We have Facebook, we have Instagram. The best way is just Google us. It's easy.
All right.
We have
More
a
with
fantastic new website under design right now. I can't wait to unveil that.
cool. More with Rebecca Michael coming up right here on the Go Show. Stay tight.
All right.
And we continue our conversation with Rebecca Michael of Amped Up Ear Pro. This is the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of the state that we live in. Big part of our outdoor world is the shooting sports. And let's be honest, when you're my age, yard work, leaf blowers, things like that, things you might need some hearing protection. This is the cool kids kind of hearing protection. This is the stuff you've seen around town, maybe at the range or maybe out in the field, where they're doing the kind of twisty thing. They're really cool colors, and they twist it into their ear, and then they're locked down. They can't hear jack and or squat. So Rebecca Michael's probably the person here in Phoenix that did that for them. Let's talk about the process itself. So we got to the part where you're going to put a little foam block all the way to the eardrum, so you get a nice seal, and everything has something to press up against. So talk to me about the material. Is it hot when it goes in? Is it like wax? What is this? How does the whole process work?
So the material that I use is considered to be an instant silicone. And
Okay.
what that means is it's the final product. The product that I inject into the ear is the actual final product, and it sets up very fast. So we have the foam block in there. So we're going to have a nice, safe impression experience. You pick out any kind of cool colors that you like. You can go crazy with like fluorescent pink and green, and or you can do like black if you want something more classic and not flashy. We have all different kinds of color combinations that we can do. And then we also have a variety of lanyards too. So when people are considering what they want their earplugs to look for or to look like, then they can, coordinate their lanyard and their colors and all kinds of stuff. I have people that want to match their racing boat. So we do the colors of that, or their motorcycle, or they just have a favorite color or a sports team. So I do the best I can to accommodate those requests. So you pick out what color you like, and I hand mix it. It's kneaded in my fingers by hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I do my magic, get it all ready to go, put it in the syringe, and then I inject it into the ear very gently.
Okay, because you said syringe. You're making me curl up again.
I know.
It's not a needle. It's just a syringe, right?
Okay. Yeah, no, it's not a needle. It's just like a frosting. Sometimes I feel like I'm frosting people's ears.
Okay.
Because
That's fair.
it's kind of a tip, just like a cake frosting.
Okay, perfect.
So it's nothing painful. So I inject it very gently into the ear, and it actually feels really neat. It kind of makes a little bit of a noise because you can hear the material moving, but
Okay.
it's very gentle. So then I just sculpt it by hand. And the sculpting is very important because what sets my product apart from some of my competitors is I put a lot of work into the finishing process of the earplug, with sanding, with lacquer, with, excuse me, I've got something.
It's all good. Yeah.
I'm very particular about making sure that the earplug follows the shape of that person's ear. I don't just put a glob in there and make it flat and, okay, here's your earplug.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't, especially when I'm in there, do not do that with me.
I like to make sexy earplugs that people are proud to wear. And, when somebody sees their earplugs, they're like, "Whoa, dude, those are cool. Where did you get those fluorescent yellow and green earplugs? They're all silly," So I specialize in making pretty earplugs that people actually want to wear and they're proud of. And so that's what I do. And so you were talking about the process. So when we're at the location where we're molding your earplugs, it only takes about 10 minutes. So once all that process is done, 10 minutes, you're good to go. And then I mail your finished product to you usually about 5 days after your fitting. It just depends on the volume of earplugs that I'm working on that week.
Yeah. Okay. And the reason why I asked you about Scottsdale Gun Club is because it would take a trip to K. O'Donnell's across the parking lot for me before I get there. And then immediately after things are injected into my ears to run right back to the bar after that.
Yes. Okay. So there is no law against having a little liquid courage before your earplugs. So
Yes.
that's okay. You can't have liquid courage before you go shooting, but
Correct.
I don't have a problem if you would like to do that before your earplugs.
I'm doing it. this is America. I know. I'll be one of those guys. I know my rights. Yeah. We're with Rebecca Michael from Amped Up Ear Pro. She's the one that makes all these awesome, super amazing, cool earpieces that you're seeing at the range and in the field. And I'm all about getting it. So I hope we get together. We do a video too, and you can actually see the whole process. So we're going to try to make that happen sooner than later. And we have all the fall seasons coming up. So I am going to need the cool stuff. So what's that?
Will you be doing hunting this fall?
As much as I can, if I can, every day, I would be doing that because we're moments away from dove season, so I will be out there most likely every day hunting doves. So yes, I'm 100% on that. So okay, so you do the mold and then it takes about 10-ish minutes, and then 5 days later you get them in the mail or they get mailed out. So about a week, right?
Yes, yeah, about a week. If you get them made one weekend, typically you'll receive them in the mail the following Saturday.
And then is there anything on our end we have to do with these things? Is there any maintenance, upkeep, stuff we need to stay away from?
That's what's so nice about this product. It's very durable. It's made out of medical silicone. So even if this is really important in Arizona, even if you leave them in a hot car, they're not going to shrink or change shape. They're very durable. So you really don't have to do anything with them. I seal them with a special lacquer that completely seals out gunpowder. Your earwax won't get in there. Dirt from your hands won't get in there. So even if you get fluorescent yellow, they're going to stay looking clean and fluorescent yellow. So
cool.
Something I always like to let people know, that you're buying a product that is very durable and it's going to look good for years, So, the price is going to be $150 pretty soon for the solid earplugs. And that's still about 40% less than an audiologist.
How much less is it than hearing aids? You know what I mean? Like if you really want to do the math, like let's put $150 up first. So let's talk about that. There's different types. You said the solid earpiece. Let's talk about the ones that aren't solid. Tell me about these.
Oh, so I have some really awesome custom electronic earplugs. I'm really proud of these. I did a lot of research the last 4 years. The lab that I'm using right now for the custom electronic earplugs is really good. They do work all over the world. They make everything from hearing aids to custom hearing protection. Okay. So I have 2 different styles of custom electronic earplugs, and the molding process is very similar to what we do for the solid earplug when you come into the range or your workplace or wherever I make your impressions at. The molding process is the same, but what's different is I mail your molds to the lab, and then what they do is they take a digital scan of that mold, and they actually archive that too, which is really cool. So if you step on your earplug or you lose one, they can just print up another one for you.
That would be me. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, for sure.
So if you actually lose one or it's damaged or whatever, they can take care of that for you without you having to come back to me or someone else to get your ear molds made.
Okay.
But anyways, there's 2 different styles. There's something I call a canal style, and that's going to be a little bit of a smaller electronic earplug. It's not going to fill the whole bowl of your ear like a custom full shell, that the whole bowl is filled. Mm-hmm. With the canal style, it's kind of more down into the ear. It's smaller.
Oh, okay.
But the sleeve of that, the part that goes into your ear, is still a custom mold.
Okay.
They just don't use, the whole thing. So anyways, what's really neat about that product is called the Sonic Guard Plus. And the favorite thing about that one is that the little electronic component can actually be removed, and you can put in a solid 30 dB filter. And the reason why that's really cool is when you're shooting the indoor range, if you're shooting some of these crazy, short pistols, short rifles, the AR pistols.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about, the short barrel. Those are so much fun. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, if you're shooting those inside, everyone drops what they're doing in the range and they're like, oh my God, what is that? You know? But with my solid custom earplugs, you can shoot that and you're totally comfortable. I know
Nice.
myself. So they work great for that. But the electronic earplugs, obviously you don't need to be magnifying, amplifying any sound when you're in the indoor range. You just want the most amount of protection you can get. So when you remove the electronic component and put in the little solid filter, that way you can shoot all this crazy stuff and you're not going to have any ringing in your ears later.
Oh.
And you're going to be comfortable during your shooting time.
So that version's kind of a 2-for-1.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
okay.
And you could also use that one when you're using tools or at work or, at the races or something like that.
Now, Rebecca Michael, Amped Up Ear Pro, you got to check her out. She travels all over. So, and I ran into her at Scottsdale Gun Club. So where can they find your calendar and your schedule?
The easiest way to find me is to just Google Amped Up Custom Hearing Protection. You can also check out Facebook. We have a Facebook page. We have Instagram. It's Amped Up Ear Pro. So we have a lot of options to check out pictures of our products, reviews, things like that.
Yeah, see, that's the way to go. It's social media. People are going social media before the website. So I absolutely love that. Rebecca Michael, I love what you do. I'm excited to hook up with you, connect with you, and we'll do a video of you, me having a beer and then trying to have you inject something into my ear.
That's excited about making your earplugs. You're going to have a good time, I promise.
That's all the time we got. We'll see you next week right here on The Go Show.